we are mildly interesting guys, and we talk about some stuff. So welcome to the podcast, we call it Joel the Podcast. It's Alex and it's Alex, here for Joel the Podcast. Hello everybody, I'm Alex.
And I'm Alex.
And this is our podcast,
Joel.
Welcome to, I've lost track of what episode we are. But we are...
I think it's 47.
47, alright. Welcome to episode 47. We are here after having taken a week hiatus for Memorial Day. Which we'll get to, but one of our listeners was not too happy about.
You gotta give us a break sometimes. It's very hard to do
We put
this
so
podcast.
much effort into this podcast.
So every week we can take off is a relief. But we do it for you, so you're welcome. That's the moral of the story.
We definitely don't do it for us.
What a dumb thing to do for ourselves. Could you imagine?
Yeah. All right. So welcome to episode 47 of this podcast. We're here still in quarantine. I guess places all over the country are opening up. Are you guys opening up in your undisclosed location?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think there's still some regulations going on, but like I've been going back into the office. I'm done with work from home. It's still mostly empty, but and they've got, of course, plenty of precautions and such. But yeah, things are starting to, for better or for worse, return to open.
Good, I guess.
We'll see, yeah.
Yeah, in my undisclosed location, we are starting to open this weekend. I think it's really more of an opening because of we've just been closed for so long and people want to open up again more than the health authorities say it's safe to open up.
Yeah, I think that's...
Which I guess is understandable. Honestly.
It's not like reasonable, but I suppose it's understandable.
Right. Let me make a comment about this for a second. So, I've been looking at earbuds, and so I'm scrolling through Amazon as we're talking here. So I googled, just searched Amazon for wireless earbuds. So before the podcast, I was scrolling through price highest to lowest, because I really wanted a certain price range. I'm having trouble filtering that. But anyway, it's going through most expensive to least expensive before the podcast, and it was I was still on page 10, and it was still $300.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I'll switch to lowest to highest. That way, I'll get some. There can't be that many cheap things. And here I am on page 7, and we're at 89 cents.
So you're telling me there's 3 pages of results between 89 cents and $300?
I guess there's 7 pages of results between 1 cent and 89 cents.
Yeah, maybe that's what I should have been more surprised by.
There's 13 pages of results between 89 cents and the highest, which is $4,000.
Right.
All right, anyway, I guess I should probably stop doing this. So, first I wanted to announce that Nathan does not owe me $1.
Alex does owe me $1, though.
Does not owe you $1, according to an independent third party.
I assume going to fight about this until somebody emails us, so please email us about this.
I don't think someone emailing us is actually going to stop it, but...
It really should. We have to respect the authority of all emails we receive. It's in the rules.
What rules?
The podcast rules, remember?
No. Oh, right. Yes, now I remember. Sorry, I forgot we came up... I forgot that we told everyone about them. I was... I
understand. Yeah.
I was trying to pretend that they were secret. So also we need to, write those down for David.
Yeah. Obviously, we haven't forgotten.
Obviously, we have them in our heads. We just haven't written them down.
Right. In fact, why don't I, right now, while we continue to talk, I will go to our Google Drive folder and create a document where we can begin. I don't think we'll actually begin now. That would be pretty distracting. But
Right. Sure. Sounds good.
this will give us, some accountability, because now we've said we're taking the first step.
Right.
And if somebody emails us about it and says, hey, you guys took the first step, why aren't you doing more? Then we're just going to have to respect that email because it's the rules.
It's the rules. So we've painted ourselves into a corner here. So it better be good.
Yep. The rules. All right, and I'm closing that tab probably forever.
All right,
Let's
great.
go. Let's move on.
All right, so sports-wise, there is some sports news this week. Both the NBA and NHL announced that they will officially be continuing their seasons. Specifically, with the playoffs, not really with the regular season.
Yeah. So is everything just locked in where it was?
No, it's not clear. So the NHL, I think, is pretty much set on a format where they will play a short tournament to determine seeding in the playoffs. So I think it'll include 20 or 22 teams or something like that. So people that were out of the playoffs initially will have 24 teams. People that were out of the playoffs initially will have a chance to get in.
Yeah.
And then they'll play the regular playoffs. And the NBA's is less certain. They haven't really decided on what format they're going to return. There's going to be once they return.
They've just said they're going to do something.
Right, and it seems likely that they'll do something similar, where teams that were close to the playoffs will have an opportunity to play in, and make it. But the upshot is that both leagues look like they will be starting around the end of July, beginning of August. The NBA actually said July 31st is their target. The NHL didn't specify a date, but they did say that training camps wouldn't start until July 1st at the earliest. So we'll see.
Have either of them announced anything about crowds? Audience?
Almost certainly there will be no crowds.
Okay.
So that does actually have a few implications for our trip, which I guess we can discuss later.
Yep.
And also interestingly enough, the NHL said that they intend to play a full season next year. So, which is curious, because if they're starting the playoffs of this season in August, they could easily last 2 months.
So there won't be much of a break before.
Well, they certainly won't start the following season on time. Because they still have to have free agency and the draft, and players can't just play again with no break.
Right.
So they'll have to have some kind of shortened off season, which means they probably won't start until January at the earliest. Which is interesting because if they're starting a full new season in January, does that mean now that the entire calendar is just always shifted to start in January?
What a weird situation.
It's very interesting to think about.
Yeah. So it'll be, of all of the consequences of this event, I think I'm most interested in how hockey handles it, based on this new evidence, because basically because it's the most recent thing I've heard. So. Right.
And then there's no actual news coming from baseball, except that it's news that there's no news. Because if you remember,
of course.
if you remember back when this pandemic started, you and I both predicted that there would be baseball this year.
Yes.
And it would seem like baseball would be the most poised to coming back.
Yes.
because they they didn't suspend something in the middle of the season, and they don't have as much contact with each other as basketball and hockey. Now they do have more players than basketball and hockey, but you would think that with the NHL and NBA both having plans starting to take shape, you would hear something from baseball. But it seems like the MLB is hung up on money, because the players won't play for, or seem to be mostly unwilling to play for less than their, like, a prorated version of their salary.
Mm-hmm.
And the owners are saying, well, we have no fans, we can't pay your full salary.
I see.
So they seem to kind of be at a standoff. And my dad yesterday actually said he didn't think they would play this year, which is kind of weird.
That is weird.
So we shall see what goes on with that. So that's your sports update, everyone.
All right.
I know everyone. That's what everyone tunes in for. So let's move on. So we got some emails this last 2 weeks, as I understand it.
In fact, we did.
Let's hear those.
We're gonna start off with quite an email. It's from L49RYW plus 2H4 MAQX1 DWCZ0 at gorillamail.com. I probably mispronounced that, but whatever. The email goes as follows. Subject line, I'm a dumbass, first of all.
Right,
great.
Obviously.
And then the body of the email is, what the fuck did you just fucking say about me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs, and I've been involved in numerous secret raids on Al-Qaeda, and I have over 300 confirmed kills. I am trained in guerrilla warfare, and I'm the top sniper in the entire U.S. Armed Forces. You are nothing to me but just another target. I will wipe you the fuck out with precision, the likes of which has never been seen before on this earth. Mark my fucking words. You think you can get away with saying that shit to me over the internet? Think again, fucker. As we speak, I am contacting my secret network of spies across the USA, and your IP is being traced right now. So you better prepare for the storm, maggot. The storm that wipes out the pathetic little thing you call your life. You're fucking dead, kid. I can be anywhere, anytime, and I can kill you in over 700 ways, and that's just with my bare hands. Not only am I extensively trained in unarmed combat, but I have access to the entire arsenal of the United States Marine Corps, and I will use it to its fullest extent to wipe your miserable ass off the face of the continent, you little shit. If only you could have known what unholy retribution your little clever comment was about to bring down upon you, maybe you would have held your fucking tongue. But you couldn't, you didn't, and now you're paying the price, you goddamn idiot.
Well,
I will shit fury all over you, and you will drown
it's not
in
over.
it. You're fucking dead, kiddo. Now it's over. Sorry, I had to collect myself for a minute there. This is some intense stuff.
I cannot believe you read that entire thing. It's been a long time since I've actually read that copy pasta. For those of you who don't know, that is a copy pasta.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever read it from beginning to end. I just see the block of text and you read the beginning.
You see what's in the beginning.
I know what this is going to be.
Sometimes people change it, but then you read it and it's like clever.
Right.
I do have to say that as a hacker, I can confirm that this is a fake email.
Right. Yeah, that's another thing. I was worried when I read the email because obviously it's pretty intense, but then I noticed that they used a fake email address to send it to us. So obviously there's there's a very serious hacker behind all of this.
Right. So, if you are the hacker that is behind this email, we apologize for anything we did to you. We really are afraid of you, and we don't want any more trouble. So send us your list of demands and we'll comply immediately.
Yep, that's true. I mean, I'm assuming that you might not be able to use this exact email address again. So just to let us know, because I mean, if we get another random email, we might not know that it's you for sure.
Right.
So just to kind of help identify yourself, I think what you should do is, in addition to your list of demands, please send us this entire copy pasta again,
Right.
so that we know it's you.
Right. And also, just this is obviously I'm very afraid of you, and as a result, I'm giving you advice. My advice is to include that, which will make us scared more and more likely to comply with your demands.
Exactly. Yeah. Remind us of this base panic that we're feeling right now.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Thanks for your email. Up next, we have an email from Cephalopod Master. Subject line: I am a dumbass. Classic. Thanks as always. And this email goes, regarding the swim gate. Maybe they published the song with swim in the lyrics, and people protested.
Sorry. Do you know what he's talking about? I'm blanking on what Swimgate is for a moment.
Are you serious? It's the Kids Bop song. They let it swim.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. I had blocked that out of my memory with good reason.
I suppose I can't blame you, but this is maybe why we
right.
try not to skip weeks.
Carry on.
Maybe they published the song with swim in the lyrics. Really, you didn't get tipped off by that part?
I just
Whatever.
I don't know. Just really had. All right, I'm not going to
make
excuses anymore.
And people protested so hard that Kids Bop fired those responsible and published new versions, but the lyrics they posted/printed were not changed. I think this is exactly what happened. I mean, what other response could there have possibly been to "They Let It Swim" other than mass protests and demands to immediately change all of the materials?
Right, and honestly, my only problem with this theory is that for it to be true, a human had to have written the lyrics, those lyrics. I drove my car across the bridge, you watched you let it swim, rather than it being a typo or mistake.
Yes.
Somebody had to have purposely written those lyrics.
So that brings us to our next theory, which is that Kids Bop songs are written by aliens.
Okay. That may explain this line. It does sound... No, I don't think that's true. I was going to say it sounds like an alien trying to be a human, but it really doesn't even sound like that. It sounds like just... Honestly, it sounds like a bad line an AI wrote. That's what it really sounds like. So...
Maybe it is. Well, yeah, thanks for that insight. I think...
Carry on with the email.
No, that's it.
Oh, that's the whole email.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you. Who was that from again? Did you say?
Cephalopod Master.
Thank you, Cephalopod. We appreciate it.
We're really on top of our game today.
Sorry, I'm trying to... all right, I will actually close out of these earbuds now because I just keep... I've closed out of it. I'll put my hands here so you can see I'm not scrolling anymore. All right, I'm focused up.
All right, just buy AirPods. Come on.
I'm not going to do that.
The next email comes to us from Samantha. We received one email in the past from her, and it's probably the greatest email we've received.
Agreed.
This email subject line is something dumbasses. Fair enough. I suppose. I don't know.
I feel like she's, maybe tired of the "I'm a dumbass" joke.
Maybe so.
To which I say, "How dare you?" But fair enough, I guess, as you said.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd rather receive an email with this subject line than no email.
All right. So the email is, first of all, she, her, hers. Let's get it right this time, Alex.
I do apologize.
Shade where shade is due. Secondly, Cassidy and I are both very upset that to this point, neither of you have actually watched any Marble Olympics yet, and I fully expect you to have favorite teams by next week. I'd recommend picking a couple to root for and a couple to root against, because it would be a real shame if your team doesn't actually qualify for the league. If you're wondering, Cassidy and I favor Team Galactic and the Raspberry Racers, and we don't like the Rojo Rollers or the O Rangers. I just want to pause here to talk about the Marble Olympics briefly. Have you watched any Marble Run videos?
I have not. But I do have to say I love all of those names.
I totally agree.
Have you?
I have. And I'll tell you this. So first of all, to the point that I should pick a couple teams to root for and a couple to root against. How do you? I don't know how you do that. And the reason I think is because I watch the Marble Olympics and the other various Marble Run videos in much the same way as I watch professional sports.
Right.
Because I didn't grow up favoring any one team. I just enjoy competition and, to a certain extent, like the chaos of the competition. So
right.
You're assorted underdogs winning and maybe to a lesser extent dominant teams doing impressively well, and then I'm in it for the storylines, not any particular team. So
makes sense.
That's how I feel about the Marble Olympics and assorted Marble videos.
Well, let me say this. You're wondering how you pick a team?
Yeah.
And I'll just show you. Here's how you do it. I will fight for Team O, or whatever the hell that name was, until I die. That team is the one that I want to win.
All right.
I'm rooting for that team in the Marble Olympics. And let me say something else, because when Samantha sent her previous email,
yeah,
I feel like one of the things that was kind of suggested was for us to involved us kind of, actually taking an hour a week,
yeah,
and finding out about some, weird sports.
Yeah.
And of course, knowing us, we did not do that. We did it the first week, and then we kind of didn't really do anything. So I'm going to make a commitment right now that I will spend 1 hour a week. This week I'll be watching some Marble Olympics videos. And I feel like, since at least 2 people or 3 people are now listening to our podcast, I think we can step it up a notch. And by step it up a notch, I mean put 1 hour of effort in per week. So I'm going to do that, and if anyone roots against Team O...
O Rangers.
The O Rangers, thank you.
Yep.
I hate you. So.
All right. That's that. I'm going to, right now, what I've done is I agree with your commitment.
Excellent.
And I'm not going to change my philosophic stance, but I am going to arbitrarily pick a team.
Excellent.
And I'm going to do that by reading the full list of teams. There are actually quite a few.
I gotta get some new favorite teams in addition to the O Rangers.
Right, and I will pick my favorites based solely on the name.
Excellent.
So, starting strong, we have Balls of Chaos.
Well, that's pretty good.
Blackjacks.
Lame.
Bumblebees.
Lame.
Chocolatiers. Crazy Cat's Eyes.
Crazy what?
Cat's Eyes.
Cat's Eyes? That is very odd.
Do you know? So there's a like style of marble called a cat's eye, and it's the one that has like a wisp through the middle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Then. All right. Fair enough.
Gliding glaciers.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Something feels wrong about that one to me. Golden orbs, green ducks, hazers,
Green ducks, I like that.
hornets, indigo stars, jawbreakers, jungle jumpers. I wonder why they're jumpers.
Maybe they are. Maybe the specialty is tracks where there's like a jump. I wonder if
That's
there's got to
the
be
only
tracks like
reasonable
that.
explanation, I suppose.
Honestly, that sounds like a name that like an elementary school marble team came up with.
Maybe it was. I have no idea how these were all named. Did a guy just did the guy that makes these videos, Samantha, as our Marble Olympics expert, please let us know uh, how this all give me the backstory. I want to know how this all came to be. All right. After the jungle jumpers, we have the cobalts with a K.
With a K.
With a K.
Nice.
Limers, mellow yellow,
Uh,
midnight wisps.
ooh, they sound cool.
They do sound cool. Minty maniacs. Of course, the O Rangers.
Yeah. Woo.
Oceanics. Pinkies. Quicksilvers. Raspberry racers.
Nice.
Rojo rollers.
We don't like them.
No. Savage speeders. Shining swarm. Snowballs. Team Galactic. That's probably the
Team
coolest
Galactic.
name. Team Galactic.
Well, the Midnight Wisps. Nah, you're right. Team Galactic is better. Midnight Wisps is good.
Galactic is just such a cool word. Team Momo.
That's bad.
Really weak follow up to Team Galactic.
We don't like them.
No, not at all. Team Plasma.
Ooh, that's actually pretty good.
That's
that
also
actually, good. Wait, all right. What do you think? Team Galactic or Team Plasma?
I'm still
Which one's
on Team Galactic, but Team Plasma is
Team Plasma.
It's
cool.
on the same level.
I think those are. I can't pick one between those.
Interchangeable.
Those are both pretty cool. Yeah.
All right. Team Primary, Thunderbolts, and
okay.
Turtle Sliders.
Oh, those. I like that.
Yeah.
Turtle sliders.
Turtle Sliders. All right. So I'm gonna. I had a strong reaction to Team Galactic, of course.
Right.
And Team Plasma.
Team Plasma, yeah.
And then I'm gonna head back up near the top of the list, and go with, let's see. Oh, Balls of Chaos is good, but is it great? I don't know.
It's pretty good. You know what? I think you're overlooking the Turtle Sliders.
No,
and
that's
the Jungle Jumpers.
I don't think I can ever feel good about the Jungle Jumpers. Something about that is just a tiny bit off to me.
Honestly, I feel like the Jungle Junkers are like a likable underdog, knowing nothing about how good they actually are.
Yeah. I realized as I scrolled to the bottom of the list, there is a qualified teams timeline where it shows how they've placed in the past.
Right.
So we can see, in fact, that the Jungle Jumpers did not qualify in 2018, but in 2017 they were 15th, and 2019 they were 7th.
Oh, that's not bad.
So respectable middle of the pack. Yeah, I mean, all the hallmarks of being a great underdog to root for. So, all right. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. So, I think we've got Team Galactic and Team Plasma in the bag. You have controversially picked the O Rangers.
The O Rangers, and we both hate the Rojo. What is it? The Rojo Rollers.
Rojo Rollers.
Rojo Rollers. I think they're like the Dallas Cowboys of Marvel teams.
Yeah. And if we go If we go down to the standings, they were sixth in 2016 and have not qualified the 3 years
Excellent.
since.
I hope they never qualify again.
Yep. So good to
All right,
good to have a team to hate. Look at us go.
let's move on.
Yes. So there is more to the email. Oh, this is also about the marbles. So they're referring again to Team Galactic and the Raspberry Racers. We're quite happy since both of our teams are already qualified. Congratulations. We're with you on Team Galactic.
Team Galactic.
Pretty neutral on Raspberry Racers. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty meh.
But all right. I don't know whether you count me as one of your 2 regular listeners or not. I think we do.
We don't. What? Okay, I don't know how regularly she listens. If you listen regularly, then we certainly count.
Well, I mean, the next part of this sentence is, but I've been listening to every episode within a day or 2 of airing. But I don't always respond because I don't want to waste my time wasting your time if I don't have anything interesting to say. Let me lurk, get off my back.
All right. That, I hate to say it, but that is a good point.
You know, normally, I would kind of disagree with this sentiment, but so far her emails have been very high quality, and I would almost hate to lose that, that touch, that anytime we get an email, we know it's going to be good versus...
All right, so I feel like we should clarify something, which is that when we say please email us, we're not saying we want just endless emails of nothing. I feel like you can correct me if you mean something different, but I feel like we're mostly talking to people who haven't emailed us either at all or recently. Like, I feel like we're never talking to David when we say obviously we want him to email us,
right?
But
he doesn't need the prompt.
If he didn't email us some week, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
I'm talking to people if someone listens to an episode, I remember we had a comment from Ethan on one of our videos.
Yeah.
If someone like him listens to our video, I want him to email us. So I do appreciate you saying this, Samantha, because I don't want to do that. Because I feel like we are probably being too hard on, and the people who probably hear us most are the people who are emailing us. So obviously we're not going to stop telling you to email us. But I think we can, maybe lighten up a little bit.
Yeah. Don't take it personally.
Yes.
Moving on. Also, Cassidy wants you to know that Sally Ride wasn't the first woman in space. Your second fact site was wildly off, and I was disappointed. I had my suspicions that site was complete.
Was that the one with a lot of questions, and there were just okay?
Yeah. There were some that were just they felt wrong. There were some that were kind of you couldn't prove it one way or the other.
Right.
It was a little weird. Our first site was definitely better. For the record, I just Googled real quick. The first woman in space was Valentina Tereshkova.
Nice.
She obviously was a Soviet cosmonaut.
Right. Was Sally Ride the first American woman in space, or was she the first something else?
Yes, she was the first American woman in space.
Okay.
After Valentina Tereshkova and Svetlana Savitskaya.
Nice.
Sorry about that.
All right. Thank you for that fact check.
Yep.
We appreciate it.
Yep. Please, if you know what, if you would like to send us space facts.
Oh, we love space facts.
If you don't have any, if you feel like you don't have anything to email us, listen, you're an interesting person, both of you. I don't think that anything you could send us would waste our time. And I want you to know that as my friends. And as my
listeners to
podcast
this
listeners,
podcast.
that you can send us anything, but mostly you can send us one of two things: high quality content like you've been doing, keep it up, and two, space facts.
Nice.
Those are my two requests.
And I do want to add on to that to say that as much as as for everything we've said about the emails we've received thus far, I don't think we've received any email that wasted our time. Would you agree with that?
I'm a little bit hesitant to talk negatively about it, but the first one we read today, it's borderline.
Oh, the Navy SEALs. Well, this is an interesting development.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a waste of our time to read it out loud on the podcast. I'll give you that.
It was probably a waste of everyone's time. I don't mean to imply that I disliked receiving that email. It was a great joke. I laughed at it when I saw it.
Nice. All right, we need to keep going. Read the next part. Is there more?
There is one more part, and it's the part that I am most deeply ashamed of.
Okay, maybe don't read it. Okay, I'm just kidding.
I have to assume that Samantha and Cassidy spent a long time on this part of the email.
I'm ready to cry.
And please don't correct me on that if it's not true. I need it to be true. She says, also, Cassidy and I came up with a far better lyric replacement for With Tequila. Remember how we struggled at the end of our last episode?
Yep.
Their replacement is "and some pizza." And it's the most obvious thing I've ever heard. And it's great.
Sorry, I think I need to leave the room for a minute. No, I'm just kidding. But that is an obvious, excellent lyric. See, I was trying to think of like what rhymes with tequila that's also just like a food or beverage.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Pizza is so on brand for me that...
Yeah, I'm a little bit ashamed, but honestly, you should be more ashamed.
Yeah.
And I can tell you almost certainly you're correct. They must have spent hours coming up with that.
Yeah, there's no way that anyone could come up with that on the spot. So I applaud them for their dedication to our podcast. Again, please don't tell me how that was literally the first thing you thought of.
Yep. All right.
This email closes with, "That's all for now. Thank you. We appreciate it." And let's get on with the rest of our podcast.
Nice. All right. I think that was very long. How far are we? 37 minutes. All right.
Oh, no.
I wonder if it's worth editing some of that. Probably not.
No, I don't think it is. Here's my proposal, and you can shoot this down, and you listening to this in the future can obviously decide to stop whenever you want. But since we skipped last week, what if we just let this one go a little bit longer, especially because we have something in mind?
Let's let it go however long it goes.
All right.
Let's not stop it.
We're not going to stop at all.
3-hour podcast, here we come.
Oh, I really hope not. Here we go.
Me too.
This week, we're going back to one of our earliest concepts for this podcast, and we are going to read an idea from a story generator and then write a movie about it. So Here we go. We're going to look at the story generator.
And we'll try not to get lost too much into the weeds like we did with our previous movie.
Yeah, we should emphasize that this upcoming movie is meant to be a lighthearted comedy that is very easy to write, as opposed to a
work of art.
Science fiction masterpiece. I'm gonna read these as I go through them to get your feeling on them, because I think we need to
go through some.
Yeah.
And once again, thank you to thejohnfox.com
Yes.
for all these ideas.
So here we go. First potential idea. A brother tries to counsel and console his sister through a difficult divorce. What problems from their past come up, and what happens when the soon-to-be ex-husband shows up drunk?
Lame and not funny.
My first impression was exactly that. Next.
Are you not wanting to read these out loud?
I'm doing a little bit of screening on my side too. Should I not do that? I can just
I
go.
mean, do it if you have a good reason to, but like, if they're just bad, then go ahead and read them.
Okay, well this
But
one
if they're,
this one
like-
starts out with some people biking across the U.S. because they're raising money for a heart disease.
Okay, well, let's hear the rest of it.
Okay, all right. This could be funny. I don't know. Two brothers decide to bike across the United States to raise money to cure a rare heart disease called ARVC, a condition their youngest brother died from. What problem do they encounter in Utah, and what do they finally learn about from their past because of it?
Okay.
Does this
that has
speak
some
to you?
potential.
Because
It has some potential. Specifically, ARVC. We could definitely come up with a funny what that acronym stands for. The brother dying is a bit of a drag, but you can make a funny movie around that.
It's a real
Utah,
bummer.
Lots of comedic possibilities.
Yes, there's some promise here. I'm just a little bit worried about.
Right. I'm not married to the idea. It's
Yeah.
It's a little constraining. So let's hear the next one.
All right, let's go to the next one. A group of art vigilantes.
Yes.
Excellent start. Terrorize businesses that paint over public art. What is the leader of the vigilantes like, and what does he do when the group starts to get out of control? This is it. I think this
is it. Absolutely.
All right.
Art vigilantes. Oh my gosh, that is great. All right. Let's get started. Okay, read it one more time.
All right, here we go. A group of art vigilantes terrorize businesses that paint over public art. What is the leader of the vigilantes like, and what does he do when the group starts to get out of control?
Okay.
We've got some questions to answer here.
Right. So, first of all, obviously, let's get the obvious out of the way. The leader's name is Joel.
Yes.
Okay. That being said, what's next? Okay. I'm trying to think. So what do you think this art vigilante group does to businesses that paint over public art?
I think their response is twofold. Number one, they paint over whatever painted over the public art with a rendition of the public art. And number two, they paint on the business buildings and signage.
Like vandalize the business.
Yes.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. They try to reproduce the public art, like you said.
Right.
But they're just worse. So it's always just a worse, like a bad version of the public art that was there.
Yeah.
For sure, these people feel like they're contributing a great service to society, and everyone hates them.
So they're bad artists.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. In order to not be arrested for this, they have to keep their identities secret.
Yeah.
Right?
Obviously.
So they all wear masks and everything, and they consider themselves kind of like an underground like movement to save art, and they feel like they're really cool or whatever. And in reality, no one likes them. Okay, here's what, obviously no one likes them. They're wanted criminals because, the police.
Yeah.
They're vandals,
Yeah.
so the police try to. Honestly, I wonder if even maybe, like, the public art that the businesses are covering is like just like graffiti or something dumb that's not even art.
So here's what's materializing in my mind.
Okay.
There is a group of art vigilantes that live in a small, I don't want to say rural, but like slightly isolated town. And all of the businesses they're terrorizing are just like the local businesses owned by the residents of the town. It's not like, some big corporate
Right. Yes.
enemy or whatever.
Yep.
The public art, like you said, is just like, it could be graffiti. It could be, just like posters for something. Like, it doesn't have to be like art, It could just be like,
okay.
They have this weird like desire to keep things the same, and then businesses will like put up a sign or something, and they're like, they dishonored our art,
Right.
and they.
Okay. Let me one up you here.
All right.
The group members are anonymous to each other. So
Ooh.
none of them knows who the other is.
I like that. Yeah.
The leader of the group, Joel,
Yes.
he's in it for like idealistic reasons, like we just discussed, and he's kind of an idiot, and he's a bad artist, but he feels like he's like, this great
Right.
whatever,
Right.
like I said. Everyone else in the group is a local business owner, and they're only in it to vandalize their opponent's businesses. And none of them know that the rest of them are other business owners because they're all anonymous.
Right, and they're all thinking like, oh, I'll just catch this trend and take advantage of it to mess with my competitors. And they're all doing that, and they're all getting really mad.
Right, and this sets us up perfectly for the group to have problems.
Right.
So, all right. So here's the next question: Does the group eventually? I guess they have to eventually find out that they all know each other and they're all business owners.
Yes, I think there's a lead up to one night where everybody's out vandalizing, and there's like this series of close calls where everybody almost gets caught, and they all
hackety sax playing in the background.
They all decide,
or yakety sax.
They're like getaway location is all the same like warehouse or something, and they basically all burst in at the same time, and then they all try and blend in with what they're realizing is the other art vandals, because remember, they don't know it's just the other business owners. And then very quickly in their like blending in attempts, they realize that it's actually just all of the...
Oh wait, okay, so I don't quite follow. So you're saying the kind of near the end of the movie, they're all out vandalizing separately?
Okay, so this is like... Maybe you had a different vision for this. I would say this happens like 2/3 the way through the movie.
Okay.
Everyone is out vandalizing separately because they're vandalizing each other's businesses, basically.
Right.
And then a series of close calls with, I would imagine, has to be like the small police department.
The incompetent
police department that's bumbling around town trying desperately to catch somebody when literally everyone is out vandalizing.
There's some police officers that are part of the gang too.
Okay, so
no, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
Everybody's finished their vandalizing and they're trying to escape from the police.
Right.
And they all run to the edge of town independently, like they don't plan on this, but they all happen to end up in the same place.
Right.
And initially, remember, there's this group. They know there's a group, and each individual who happens to just be a business owner thinks, "Oh, I'm meeting the group now. I've got to blend into the group," not knowing that the group is just all the other owners. And so for a minute, they're like trying to blend in, and then they realize, wait a minute. None of us is actually an art vandal. We're just all the business owners.
So just to be clear, this is the first time they're meeting each other?
This is the first time they're meeting each other. Everything else has been just some sort of anonymous communication, probably spearheaded by Joel.
Let me modify your vision
a
little bit.
All right.
So instead of this being the first time they meet, they've actually been a group. Normally, they vandalize a business together. Right? So normally they meet up and Joel gives some speech or whatever that none of them care about.
Okay.
And then they go vandalize a business and then they disperse. So what's going to happen is, like, obviously, since they're all business owners, they're each going to suggest the other one's business, and none of them's going to want to have their own business vandalized. And Joel's obviously going to be very easily convinced. And obviously, none of these businesses are going to purposely cover up any public art. But they're all going to, like, one business owner goes to another guy and, like, puts, like, a poster up over, like, some other poster.
Uh-huh.
And then he goes to Joel and be like, did you see that guy put a poster up? Anyway, this this result, there's always infighting in the group,
Right.
and they're trying to get Joel, and by 2/3 of the way, like you said, they're all just like, screw this group, I'm just gonna go vandalize, my opponent's business.
Yeah.
And and so they're all out separately, like you said.
Yeah.
And then they all run away, and they have a designated rendezvous, which is this warehouse.
Okay.
And they get there. Okay. So now we're there. How do they suddenly realize that they're all each other, the business owners?
So where I wanted to go with all of this is they all realize, and basically they realize that they could just all stop doing this, and none of their businesses would be vandalized anymore, except Joel is actually in it for the art, and so they all turn on him for the last bit of the movie.
See, I feel like Joel has to come out on top, and the business owners have to come out on the bottom. Yeah. Because these guys are going to be the least likable characters. Right. They're going to be very selfish and bad.
Right.
So I feel like they need to come to the realization that they're all... see, I don't know how this resolves with them all figuring it out and all losing.
Right.
They have to all get arrested. Wonder how that could happen. See, this is going to be a feel-good movie. They all get arrested in the end, and Joel, I don't know, becomes a great
Joel rides
artist.
off into the sunset, essentially, thinking that he has saved this town because all of the business owners just got arrested, when in reality, all the business owners just got arrested, and the town is in shambles.
Okay, that is excellent, yes. Okay, how do we wrangle it so that all the business owners get arrested as themselves? Like, okay, so just thinking out loud, so they get to the warehouse.
Okay, all right, here it is. Okay, they all get to the warehouse.
Yep.
They all realize that each other are just business owners. And
right, and let me just interject. The way they do that is that they're all like telling each other like, "Oh, I vandalized X business," like excitedly telling the other one's like, "Wait, you vandalized X business? I mean, blah blah blah. I don't care about that." Right, and then they all just like, "Wait a minute, I know that voice. You're X business owner."
Yeah,
which they somehow didn't realize before.
And
but
then
anyway,
he's like,
carry on.
Well, yeah, but you're Y business owner, and they pull off each other's masks and.
Right. Okay. So they realize
there's this huge fight, and Joel's like, "Wait a minute, guys, we're losing focus. We gotta get back to the art." And they're all like, "We don't care about the art, you idiot.
Right.
We were only in it to mess with each other's businesses." And so then Joel comes up with this plot so all the business owners go back and they're like, "All right, forget it. This is stupid. We're all being ridiculous. We're done with this." So they all go back to their businesses. And then Joel comes up with this elaborate scheme to frame each of them as the business owners for vandalizing each other's businesses. So he has to, like, in one night, pull off this massive heist, basically, of painting every business in town with this irrefutable evidence that it was actually done by everyone, like, each other. You know what I mean? Right,
okay. My issue with that is that we've kind of painted Joel here, as kind of like a bumbling idiot.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So it really makes no sense for him to mastermind a giant heist that frames all of the business owners. What should happen is he comes up with some plan, and it goes horribly wrong, but still ends up with the business owners getting arrested in like a weird twist of coincidence.
Yeah.
So
do they get arrested for all the vandalism, or do they just get arrested for like something else they end up trying to do? Like, does Joel cause them all to commit some other crime or something?
No, I feel like they get arrested for the vandalism.
Okay.
Why would Joel not get arrested? See,
that's why I was trying to have him set everything up. But
that makes sense. Right.
Somehow he's got to be incompetent and also pull off this perfect scheme.
Right, by accident.
by accident.
So, okay, so first of all, what could happen that would get the business owners arrested, just in general, absent of Joel?
So I know we also said the police are kind of. Here's an idea. It's kind of a dumb idea.
Okay.
What if the police had figured out that all the art vandals were meeting up at this one place, like it's a place they'd used in the past, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the police had set up some surveillance there, and they were there witnessing everybody outing everybody else.
Uh-huh.
And Joel obviously doesn't like he doesn't own a business, so nobody can be like, but you're just this business owner, and he's not ever going to be like, and I'm Joel, because I mean he's not
Right.
that stupid. So he somehow manages to be the only one that the police couldn't identify out of this whole vandalism scheme that went down this night. So there's not like a separate plot. It's just that this night ends up falling to pieces.
That's a good idea. The problem is it doesn't have Joel bumbling into that conviction. It just happens. What I was thinking was, like, there's security cameras at all the stores.
Uh-huh.
So what if the first thing that was supposed to happen was Joel was supposed to, like, spray paint the security cameras so they couldn't see anything.
Okay.
But he was incompetent, so he sprayed it with, like, clear coat, or he missed it, or something dumb like that.
Yeah.
So what can he do? But maybe the store owners had been hiding the security tapes because they didn't want to get caught. So what could Joel do that would accidentally get those security tapes discovered?
Why would they be hiding the security tapes? I am missing that.
Because they're on the security tape. They're part of the gang that's been vandalizing the business.
Oh, because they all go around as a
gang
group at first.
in the beginning. Yeah.
And then they get out of control and everybody goes and does everybody's stuff.
Right, and the second after that thing, they'll still be hiding the security tapes because they know that each other was in it. So if they rat on one guy, the other guy will rat on me.
Okay. So maybe... Okay, this seems like a really dumb idea, but I'm going to say it anyway because
It's
a starting point. So
Yep.
So in the original missions, when everybody's going around as a group, Joel. Okay, maybe or maybe not. Joel is the person that always spray paints the cameras,
Right.
and then everybody else does the vandalizing.
Right.
Because he's a bad artist. I don't know that they would care about that and like force him to be just the camera spray painter or something.
He could be like the director, like he's saying, "Okay, you do this and you."
He's got this,
like,
he's got this artistic
vision.
Okay, so he's like handling the behind the scenes work of like, you know, he paints over the camera and all the shop owners know he's kind of incompetent, so they're still hiding their tapes, even though they expect the camera to always end up painted over, right?
Well, the thing is, they can all see the tapes. I wonder why they wouldn't just destroy the tapes. Maybe for, like, in case they ever needed to snitch on the other business. Now, the thing is that then they don't know it's the other business owners.
Why would they be having these tapes if they're just... I guess to protect themselves from if they actually get robbed, they could show that part of the tapes, right?
But they could just watch through the tape, see they didn't get robbed, and then destroy it.
So there's got to be something, because like obviously if a business gets vandalized and it's got cameras, the police are going to be like, show us your camera footage, and they can't just be like, no.
Well, they can be like, it was turned off last night by accident.
Everyone, every time? maybe the police are just that. Maybe they're like, damn it, again?
Yeah, that's
can't believe this always happens.
Okay, so again, why do they even keep the tapes?
Right.
Maybe the tapes get automatically backed up by like a security company or something.
Hmm.
and they don't know that.
Maybe maybe the okay, so maybe coincidentally around the time they just go crazy and vandalize each other's businesses, the police have put up separate security cameras that Joel doesn't notice, or whoever doesn't notice when they're spray painting over the regular cameras. So the police have their own cameras at each site. They catch all the footage, and they're sitting at the station going crazy because like everywhere is being vandalized all at once. We got to get out there and get everybody, and that's how they go bumbling around, and they drive everybody
Right.
off. And then they're like, well, we didn't catch anybody. Did we get anything on tape? And they go back and
Oh, no, here's what it is.
All
Here's
right.
what it is. Joel has been secretly filming everything. All the, like, because he's, for some, like, vlog or something dumb
for
like
an
that. Where
art
he's like,
documentary.
I'm recording this for posterity, or
Yes,
something
yeah.
dumb like that.
One of those,
none of
like-
the other people know he's been filming them.
right.
But, so he's been filming them, and then the police, I guess they can't have anything. Like, until Joel somehow... What does Joel do? See, why wouldn't he just... I guess he could say he's an idiot, so he didn't just give the police the tapes.
So
Okay,
Joel
we're
Joel
getting
doesn't
somewhere.
know that all the other Vandals are business owners either. So maybe they all get outed in front of him, and he's like, "You guys didn't believe in my vision. Like this wasn't about the art. This was just about screwing each other over."
Right.
And he's like,
but
"Well, I'll
why-
show you." And he produces his art film, and then shows it to drops it off at the police station, and then just leaves town.
See, that would work, but it's just Joel doing something. It's not Joel failing to do something, which then results in the thing he actually wanted happening anyway. So
Okay,
we're close.
twist
We're close,
on
though.
that.
Yep.
He's not like mad at the business owners. He's like, listen, I know I can bring them around to my way of thinking if I show them what we've created together. So he's produced this film, and he's like this eccentric guy in the town. I don't know what he does. I don't know why he's there. I don't know why people would like believe in him or anything, but he's like, listen, I've got this movie. Everybody in town show up to see it. And like the business owners are there and the police are there, and Joel's there proudly showing off to everybody this art film, and the business owners are like, "You idiot, this incriminates all of us." And the police are like, "We got him." And somehow Joel is like not actually ever shown vandalizing. Well, because he's got the camera, right? He's not shown vandalizing, and the police are like, "You've been staking out these criminals this whole time. You're a hero."
Okay, I think that's a great idea, and we can reasonably overlook the fact that he would definitely still be arrested as an accomplice to all these crimes.
Yeah. Maybe there's like a throwaway comment by the police later in the station, like, "Wait a minute. I mean, if he was there all this time, why didn't he show us at the time, you know?" And they like go to arrest him, and maybe that's when we find out that he's like on his way out of town, and they've got no way to track him because he's just this weirdo all on his own.
No, I think it's funnier if we just completely gloss it over.
Okay.
We do that. We said somebody say, "Wait a minute, wasn't he an accomplice to all these crimes?" And then someone else is like, "Nah, yeah, Joel," and then it's just forgotten forever.
All right, so the end of this obviously has to be the town. I guess just the police, basically, because most other people are locked up. All the business owners and like their families are all mad because we got all their family members arrested, and so the police are throwing Joel a party, and he's like, "This is so great, guys," and then he just rides out of town, and then everybody kind of looks at each other like.
Okay, here's what happens at the end. Very heartwarming ending.
Yeah.
In gratitude for him catching the bandits, because most of the people in the town don't own these stores. Most of the people in the town are just annoyed that all these stores keep getting vandalized.
Okay.
So everyone in the town's grateful for him, outing these bandits. So as a gesture of thanks, they create like a mural of him.
Yeah.
And he goes up to it. He's like got tears in his eyes, and he's like, "Guys, my work here is done." And then he just leaves the town.
Yeah.
The end.
All right.
Hey everybody. Thanks for listening to this episode. Unfortunately, we had some technical. Oh no, this is deja vu. Back to the World Tour podcast where we had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I was terrified when you said that you weren't recording anymore. That it was just going to be like 5 minutes in or something, and we were going to have another just ruined episode.
Right. Well, we had some technical difficulties with the recording, but I promise we will have the full movie for you next week. So
we'll try and fix it.
We'll try and fix it and get you the full original-ish audio. So thanks for listening. Do you have an Olive Garden quote?
I was going to look up a Kids Bop lyric, as is our new tradition, I think.
That's good.
Kids Bop worst lyric.
All right, so I just Googled best Kids Bop lyrics, and it gave me the lyrics to Best Day of My Life.
All right, so I ended up finding the same website I found last time because the first one listed is, I told her my name and said, "It's nice to meet you," and then she handled me a bottle of water, said, "Nice to meet you." Which obviously should be, then she handed me a bottle of water and a slice of pizza, which is beautiful art. All right, here we go. But every song is like a gold teeth, gold goose, singing in the bathroom here in the middle of this Olive Garden.
Excellent. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm Alex.
I'm Alex.
And this has been
Joel.